Welcome to Creating a Successful and Meaningful Career. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to have you listen to this presentation and hope that what I'll say here will be useful to help you create your own successful and meaningful career. Now, most of us will face challenges as we go along. Of course, that's normal. I certainly have, and no doubt I will have in the future. I do have quite a lot of experience of talking to doctors around their careers, and that's doctors from different ages, different stages of their career, different specialties, and different parts of the world. And what I've done in these presentations is I've tried to distill some of what I've learned from those conversations into a framework that hopefully will help you create your own successful and meaningful career. Now let's start with what actually a career is. So a career is an evolving sequence of a person's work experience over time. And you'll notice that this talks about it being an evolving sequence over time. In other words, it's not a fixed thing. A career is something that changes. So you might be listening to this fairly early on in your career, perhaps trying to decide which specialty you're going to do. Maybe you're listening as a mid-career doctor, trying to think, okay, what do I do next for the remaining 10, 20 years of my life and my career? Or maybe you're somebody who's approaching retirement and you're thinking, okay, how am I going to change things as I approach retirement? So our careers are always changing, and that means that we have to make decisions time and time again. So it's not something that you just make a decision once and you say, yeah, that's it, that's me done, that's my career decision. Things change all the time. We change, our circumstances change, the world around us changes, and of course healthcare changes all the time. So making career decisions is an ongoing process that all of us have to make all the time. In this definition, it also talks about person's work experience, and you'll notice that isn't necessarily paid. It doesn't refer to getting paid for anything. So that means that your career might include things that you're not getting paid for. And I know that a number of people that do lots of stuff that they're not paid for, and it's important to include that in the overall definition of a career. Now, perhaps before you go any further, I would invite you to maybe just pause and think, okay, what is career success for me? And that'll mean different things to every individual person. What does it mean to you? Where does it come from? There's no point in me telling you what career success is for you, because of course I'm not you. The only person that can know what is right for you is you. So as we go through the rest of these presentations, the focus very much is on helping you discover what a successful and meaningful career is for you. Nobody else can tell you. The only person that can figure that out is you. Now, when we're talking about career success, we might talk about objective careers, or we might talk about subjective careers. So objective careers, that would be your CV. So basically that's a map of jobs, salaries, promotions, achievements, audits, papers, letters after your name, exams. And then when it comes to measuring success, that's something that's easily verifiable. An external observer can come and look at 10 different doctors and look at their CV, and an external observer can objectively assess career success based on those criteria. The issue though is that there's also something called subjective career, and that's about the stories that we tell ourselves, the narratives that we have, the meaning that we ascribe to events and actions. And that then is much more personal. The only person that knows what story goes inside my head about my career is me. But also when it comes to judging success, the only person that judges success is me. Now, I might be judging success based on criteria that I've absorbed from society, or I might be judging success based on entirely my own criteria. But the point is, I'm the person that's doing success. It's very personal to me. We can also look at career success through 4 different types of people and 4 different ways of judging career success. Now, you might have people that are climbers. So these are typically hierarchical, money is important, promotions, status, those kind of things matter. You might be an expert. So what matters to you might be being recognized for what you do. You might be an influencer. So that's about having a positive effect. You want to make a difference to others irrespective of hierarchical status. Or you might be self-realizer. And then achievement is at a very personal level. It's something deeply individual to you, and life balance often matters. I really like this idea that the career success sweet spot is an intersection of 4 different things. And this is based on the Japanese concept of ikigai. So career success is having something that you love, being good at it, doing something that the world needs, and doing something that you can be paid for. And career success means having all 4 of those aspects. And the presentations that I've prepared when it comes to creating a successful and meaningful career principally would be around finding out what it is that you love. And I've prepared the CVCATS framework that I'll talk about in the other presentations. And basically, what we got here, it's a framework that will help you make a career decision going forward. So it starts off with current state. So first of all, that's about understanding what's going on for you at the moment. And I've prepared some exercises in the accompanying workbook, and you can work through those exercises, and hopefully that will help you figure out what's going on for you at present. In the remainder of the presentations, I briefly outlined the exercises, but the accompanying workbook has specific instructions and also reflective questions. So you can do the workbook, it tells you what to do the exercises, and then reflect on those exercises. And as you go through the exercises, start compiling a list of things that you want in the future. Yeah. So you're going to do the current stage exercises. This is what's happening for me at the moment. And out of that, you're going to start identifying things that you want in the future and start creating a list of things that you want in the future. So after you've done the current state exercises, then there comes some visioning for the future. And again, I've got a series of other exercises that help you think about the future and what kind of career you want. And again, as you go through those exercises, you continue to add to your list of things that you desire in the future. And then by the time that you come to the end of the vision stage, you will probably have in excess of 50 things that you want to have in your future career. And then you've got to then somehow rationalize that list down to maybe 5 to 10 things, and then you've got to make some choices. So in the choose stage, I've got some ideas about how you can make a career decision going forwards. Once you've chosen, you've then got to achieve the next step. You've got to successfully transition into the new role. And people often forget that because people think that you're just going to wake up one day and you're going to be, a qualified doctor, or you're going to be a GP, or you're going to be a surgeon. The reality is that that isn't how transitions happen. So you've got to successfully transition into the new role before you actually manage to succeed at whatever you've set up to do. So that's the end of this talk. In the remaining of the presentations, I will work through the stages of the CVCAT framework, and you will be able to follow those exercises in the accompanying workbook as well. See you in the next presentation.